Hi there, it's Hipster King from the Hairy Game Lords, and we're going to be taking a quick look at this that I received on the weekend, Tumble. Now, this will be a very quick unboxing. I've already sort of punched all the stuff through, so it's all ready to go. We can have a look at what you get in the box. So, first things first, absolutely brilliant job by Weird Giraffe Games getting this game out to backers so quickly. This was meant to be due in April 21. 4 months early, it arrives in December. And what do we get? Well, this is basically a nice engine building. You've got a bit of there's sort of dice management. You've got dice stacking. You're building your own little town. It's a lovely little Wild West themed game, as you can see from the beautiful colour scheme on the box. And then on the back, a little bit of info on the game, how it's set up on the table, so you get an idea of what it looks like, list of components, standard things. And this is a game for 1 to 4 players, plays in about half an hour to an hour. And let's get inside and take a look at the box and what you get in. So first of all, we have 2 sets of instructions. First one is the core instructions, and you've got a really nice laid out rule book telling you first of all the things you're going to find in the contents, how to set up the game so you know what it looks like on the table. Then you've got the different player counts, how you set up for the different player counts, what you do on your turn, laid out really simply. I've read through the rule book, it all makes sense, which is nice use of sort of clearly laying out all the different iconography that you're going to need to use. Enough pictures so it doesn't feel like it's too text heavy. It's a relatively simple game, so it shouldn't be too complex. And then in your second rule book, you've got the solo bear and some other variants in there, so that's just much quicker in terms of how else you can set the game up. Right, so let's dive into the box a little bit further. The first thing that you meet in the box are your sort of player cards that now include the main street on them as well. So on your player card, you've got the storehouse where you're going to store dice at the end of each one of your turns. You've got the main street here, and depending on, there are different setups you can use. And the way the main street works, as you lay out your houses and the buildings that you're going to build on Main Street, you can score additional bonuses as long as you hit the criteria on each one of the icons. Leaving a space also allows for scoring end game points. So have a look through all these and you can pick the ones that you're going to play. There's a number of different ways to play with those, so you've got lots of different options. Obviously, being a dice game, you get a shed load of dice. You get the grey dice, the black dice, and the brown dice. And what I really like in this game are these ones. These were added, they upgraded these as part of the stretch goals. I'm not sure that you can see them there, but you get a really nice swirl gold effect on there. It's like a metallic swirl through the gold dice, just to give them that extra little pizzazz when you're playing with those and building with them. You have, to go with your dice, this I really like, and I've got to show you the insert at this point. So you've got your space for your dice in there, and there was a big space when you got the game with just a bit of cardboard in here, and that's because the main punch board was to build this little beauty, which is the dice tower building. Let's just get a couple of dice out to show you that it does work. So you construct this as you once you've unpunched the game. So you place your dice on the top, and it rolls them out for you there. So it's just nice and adds to the theming and the appearance on the table. So that's the dice tower that comes to the game. Few more bits. Obviously, you've got your scoring pad, so you don't have to do any horrible mental maths. I know some of the Hairy Game Lords aren't a big fan of the maths, so that will help us out. You've got your tokens, a few different sets of tokens. Basically, in your building, you can always build a building without the required dice, but if you do that, you're going to take some sort of negative points that you're going to obviously remove at the end of the game. You've got here these are like extra dice tokens that you can get, which might give you a little bonus. I really like this. The first player meeple in this one. How nice is that? Little wooden cactus meeple there to tell you who the first player is. And then you have got a big wad of cards. Now, core things with the cards, let's just have a look at the base one. So, really like this little game setup card, just to help you in terms of when you're setting the game up first time, or when you're remembering it, it's just there, so you get the stuff you need out really quickly. Alongside that, you've got 4 of these, one for each player. Icon reference cards, really like these, just to help everybody know what the different icons on the cards mean, so you don't have to keep going back to the rule book. Then you've got the turn reference cards, again, just helps prevent that constantly dipping in and out of the rule book. Most of the cards then are your building cards, and basically during the game, you're going to be trying to take dice at the start of your turn and build these different buildings. So this is the dance hall, it's going to need 3 gold dice, and they need to be ABC, 3 completely different numbers on the dice. Outhouse, 2 brown dice that are between 2 or 4. There are whole loads of different ones that you can build here. This one requires all the brown dice to be even, so it's really clear what you're doing. And then when you build that building, you are going to get various rewards. Now, those rewards might be victory points, they could be additional dice, it could be re-rolls, so lots of different options in terms of picking the right buildings. The other thing you'll notice on the building cards, let's just pick another one at random, the town hall here, 6 victory points if you get this into your Main Street, plus potentially bonuses on Main Street, of course. But there's also this little icon underneath, this little cowboy boot. Why is that important? Well, at the start of the game, he says you get given one of these horse cards. And these horse cards are kind of your player cards. They all come with a plus or minus 1 to a roll as a once time per turn use. But on the back, you've also got a victory point condition for endgame scoring. You'll get 1 victory point for every pickaxe token you've got. That's hidden from the other players because all the horses look identical. So you've got all of those, so you've got different things you can be working for in secret, kind of to try and score bonus points at the end of the game. The other thing you've got is the way you set the game out. You saw at the beginning, you've got these building cards. You've got 1, 2, and 3, and these will tell you what dice you're able to take at the start of that round. And eventually, once all of the buildings from that particular level of building have been removed, you can start just taking those dice rather than taking the dice that you would associated with the building. This game looks like a lot of fun. Components in terms of the quality of the cards, they're a good size thickness, and they've got a really nice, that really feel. I really like the colour scheme they've gone with. Really nice and simple colours. Does feel that slightly sepia, dusty tones from that Western feel. Really looking forward to getting this to the table and having a play with the other hairy game lords of it. And when we do that, we'll definitely get a review up too. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, go out and have a check on Weird Giraffe Games. We've got some great looking games on their websites. Take care. Bye now.